how to get a 5 on your AP Calculus exam. This is Mentor Mike, and today we're going through strategies that helped me get an A in my calculus class and a 5 on the exam. The first step is to actually learn the material, and we're going to do that by taking notes the correct way. So here's what you're going to do. Every example the teacher gives of solving a problem, write it down step by step in your notebook how you're going to solve that. And if you don't understand any step, then exactly at that moment, raise your hand, be like, hey, what's up with this? Because it's much easier to get it correct the first time than to go back the day before the test, or even worse, the day before the AP exam, be like, I don't understand this. You can't let that happen and still expect to get good grades. You need to learn the material the first time it's taught. The next thing you have to get right is the homework. So personally, my teacher didn't require us to do the homework, but usually if your teacher even does require it, you could still get the answers off the answer key or whatnot. The important thing is that when you're doing the homework, in order to save yourself a lot of time, you have to only do the problems which seem difficult. Now, at the beginning, probably every problem is going to seem difficult. But once you already have a grasp of the concept, you could look at a question and totally see that there's no point for you to do it, because you know you can solve it, so why waste your time? Right? It's very important that if you have other classes, you don't spend all your time getting an A in calculus and then have all C's in your other classes. So this is why saving your time is very important. And you need to focus and do the most important homework, which is the homework which you do not understand. Some people are lazy and do the opposite, where they only do the easy questions in the homework or not at all. But if you want to be efficient in your work, you have to do the problems that you least want to do. Alright, so now we're going to actually learn how to study for the exam. So for starters, you have to realize that this test is 1/4 memorization and 2/4 problem solving. So first, let's get the memorization out of the way, because we want to get a 5, so we need to know that. So you need to memorize basically all the trig derivatives, all the trig integrals, the rules for the derivatives, the Taylor series, all that. It's really not that difficult if you have the right memorization techniques. There's plenty of YouTube videos already explaining how to memorize those things. I've linked a couple below. What I did to just basically everyone has to do if they want to memorize these is either make flashcards or use someone else's flashcards. Just put like the sine on one side and do, okay, what's the derivative of sine? Well, the answer is going to be on the back, and if you get it right, well, you can finish reviewing that one, but if it's wrong, well, then you have to review it over and over again. The rest of my studying strategy for the exam I got from a YouTube video called How I Learned AP Calculus BC in 5 Days and Got a 5. I'll link that down below. I recommend checking it out after you're done with this one, but I can verify that his strategies actually do work. So the first step is going to be watching the series called The Essence of Calculus. It's a really good way of getting intuitive understanding of all the concepts that you've learned. However, if you are short on time, you can skip this step and still be fine. Now, the rest of the steps are basically required. You're going to need a Princeton review book or a Barron's review book, just any. It could be your textbook, but I personally wouldn't recommend it because it has to be specifically for the AP course. But you need a review book and go through the whole thing and take notes on all the concepts you don't remember. It's going to take you several hours. It could take you even up to like 10 just to get through the whole course because there's that much material. But once you're going to be done, you're going to have a full refresher on all the concepts, and it won't be too hard from now on. The next step is going to be to take a full-length practice test. You could use the one in your review book if you have a review book. If not, I'll post a link where you can download full practice tests below. And after you do that, just grade it. Check your projected grade in the score calculator, and then just review everything you got wrong. The good news for this exam is that you can get a 65% and get a 5, which means you can miss out on a lot of the topics and still do fine. However, I wouldn't recommend getting too confident because this exam is actually really difficult as far as the content is concerned. So even if it doesn't sound bad, it's actually not that easy to get 70% correct on it. But it is manageable. I did it, and I think you'll be able to do it too. And after that, just review the material and take another practice exam, and keep doing that until you get a 5, until you feel confident. And yeah, that's how I studied. That's how I know other people studied who were successful in this class and on the exam. In the description below, I'll post all the resources that I used, and the plan will also be there. And other than that, good luck. I'll be posting more videos like this, so subscribe below and like for more.